Hey everybody, Tim Anderson here, aka Renfell. Welcome back for another MMORPG analysis video, and today we're diving into Lost Ark and the fact that it has already lost not quite 65%, it's over 60% of its player base since the game started. We're going to be talking about that more today, which ties into one of the previous topics we had about whether or not box sales matter anymore, or is it really truly about player retention these days? If this is your first time tuning in, welcome to the channel. I am hopeful that you will like the video, and if you do, you'll smash that like button. And also, if you get to the end and you think you want more like this, make sure to subscribe to the channel, hit the bell icon so you get more content like this delivered straight to your updates and inboxes on a regular basis. And don't forget, we have a Discord. Links are down below. And of course, there's other videos in the MMORPG analysis series and beyond here on the playlists on YouTube. So let's dive into this topic. I actually first came across this not because I'm playing the game, but because I got a YouTube recommendation for an Asmongold video where he talks about 60% of the people quit. And this came out earlier today. I'm recording this on March 19th, about 4 p.m. my time. So this came out a little while ago.
Players are falling as
And
fast as New World now.
Asmongold has a
Pretty soon.
section here. He goes in here and he just quickly talks about this.
Yeah,
Um,
it's lower today than it was yesterday for sure.
and as of the
And it
time
still
that
hit
it was
500k
people were
concurrents.
playing earlier, let's duck back in here. There was 440,000 people playing when he did this video. And then as of the recording of this one, there's 500,000. So there's actually a little bit more playing right now than we're playing when he did his video. But that dives back into just some very quick and simple, dirty math on this is that it's over 60, under 65, but it's close to 65% of the player base has gone off and done other things. Now, I talked about this previously in another episode where we looked at New World and the fact that like 90% of its player base had dropped off the face of the planet, within a few months after the game had launched. And we did a heavy analysis on whether or not box sales even matter anymore, because at the end of the day, player retention is one of the most important components of any sort of live service game. It is interesting that, of course, in the case of Lost Ark, they still have 500,000 as of this recording, 500,000 people playing the game on a daily basis, which is still extremely healthy in terms of numbers. But let's very quickly look here at, can we do New World? And look at, say, 6 months. Um, has it been out for a year? When did it come out? November 2021. In any case, um, September, they're going from 913,000 and then a dramatic curve all the way down to the bottom. To where as of yesterday, well, March 16th, March 19th, we get all the way there, 30,000 people is all they have playing the game right now, down from 900,000, which is a lot. That's actually a lot less than when I recorded my video, because when I recorded my video, there were still, I think, around 60,000, 55, 60,000 people who were regularly logging into New World, and now it's down again, half that number. Looking at here, 28,000, 29,000, 30,000. So, you know, almost half of what were there when I recorded the video a couple months back for New World, which just it does beg the question, at what point do these games get considered to be dead? Because we can see in the case of New World, New World has had a lot more time in the open, so that curve is a lot more dramatic because it went from that over the course of 6 months or so. We have 6 months of data that we can look at, whereas looking at, say, hey, let me just open this in a new tab so that I stop having to backtrack between these two. In this case, we've only got data from February when it launched on February 10th. So we're only dealing with a little over a month of data at this point. But the fact that it's already lost 60%, almost 65% of its player base within the first month suggests that much like New World, it's going to see this rapid drop off because we can look here, September 30th, where is October? Yeah, this is basically a month. So in a month, it went from 900,000 players to 350,000 players. So it also lost more than half of its player base within the first month. Then within the second month, we're dealing with, you're already down to 145,000 players from 900,000. So you've lost a huge chunk of your community. I don't think this has anything to do with Lost Ark being a bad game. I think this also goes into what I was talking about in the previous video about retention being key these days. It's just the simple fact that the way people play games these days and their attention spans and so on and so forth is a lot different than it used to be 10, 15 years ago because we have so much more vying for our attention in the current era. You've got Netflix, Hulu, you've got other games, you've got all the consoles, you got Xbox, you've got just anything and everything is vying for people's attention, and there's new games coming out every single week. Not to mention we had, right after New World came out, we had Elden Ring, which took the world by not New World, sorry, right after Lost Ark came out, New World took the world by storm. I can't talk. After Lost Ark came out, Elden Ring took the world by storm. Hopefully I said it right this time. So you're constantly going to see that cycle repeated because people want to go play the next big thing. So I don't know that it's necessarily any cause for alarm that Lost Ark has already lost 60% of its player base within the first month of it being out. I think it's just the trend these days, and I think any game out there nowadays is going to have a hard time with player retention because there's so much out there that people want to play, especially with a game like this where you're not offering players long-term incentives to play the game. It's just not there. That's one of the reasons I didn't want to play Lost Ark was because for me the gameplay was meh and I didn't see any long-term potential. I saw 2 to 3 weeks of gameplay and then I was going to be done with it and ready to move on to the next thing. And that appears to be the case, the same as it was with New World, the same as it is with pretty much every game that's been coming out in the last few years. So, do I think it's a cause for alarm? Does it mean that Lost Ark is dead? No, but it definitely means that it's following the trend of Lost Ark and other games where you're going to see a 90% drop off within the first 3 to 4 months of the game. It's a one and done. It's not going to have any longevity. It's just one of those things. It's just not going to happen. So it is what it is, folks. I'd love to hear your thoughts down below. I'm obviously not playing Lost Ark, so I can't speak to good and bad problems that the game might have. People can look at Lost Ark and say this, that, or the other. They can also look at New World and say this, that, or the other. I don't play this game, so I have I have no actual hands-on experience with it. I could just look at the numbers from the Steam charts and say, hey, yeah, Asmongold is right in his little snippet that today, which just caught my eye. It's definitely a fall off, but why is that? Who knows? Love to hear your experiences below. If you got to the end, you like this video, don't forget to like the video, hit that like button. Of course, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell icon if you want more like this, and don't forget to stick around. There's lots of stuff that happens here on YouTube, lots of different playlists. Check all those out. I stream most mornings, early a.m. Central Time. It just depends, 6 a.m., 7 a.m., but I usually stream for a few hours every morning with coffee. We also play Lord of the Rings Online and other games on the evenings of Thursdays, Fridays, and Saturday nights with our gaming community. So if you want to join our gaming community, check out the links to the Discord below. And if you want to support the channel, you can join as a member. You can also head over to the Patreon page for the World of the Weave and the Void, which is the map behind me, which is the world that my wife and my brother and I are building over at our Patreon. It's patreon.com/wandering hermits. It's a 5th edition tabletop world, as well as a point and click adventure game and a book series. And the tabletop stuff is out in June, and later this year, the point and click game. So hopefully we'll see you over there. Until next time, everybody, thanks for your support, thanks for your views, and I'll see you in the next video.